many conditions affecting women, such as endometriosis, menstrual problems, the menopause, gynecological problems and fertility, to name but a few. The important thing to recognise is these are hugely personal conditions and symptoms. Women often feel embarrassed about telling anybody else about these conditions, particularly their male colleagues. The symptoms are largely hidden, whether this be physical pain or the emotional impact. An example is that most people associate the menopause with hot flushes. This is what everyone can see, which in themselves can be hugely embarrassing, particularly if they're extreme. But what is often unrecognised about the menopause is the huge emotional impact, the anxiety and the panic attacks that can go with it as well. Infertility is also a huge issue for women, whether they be contemplating fertility treatment or whether they actually be going through it. They often don't want to tell anybody else about it at all, and it can be an absolute huge emotional roller coaster.
So what effect do these health concerns have on women in the workplace? I think it's fair to say, whatever your health issue, if you have a lack of awareness about the access, the support out there, or you're not getting timely access to both diagnosis and further support, then it can lead to extended issues, be that more frequent absences, longer term absences, more serious conditions, or presenteeism. And where women are in an environment where they don't feel that they can talk about the issues that they're dealing with or get support around those issues, then that's exacerbated further in terms of the pressures that are on them to keep trying to perform at work while they're dealing with those issues. And that obviously leads to more impact on their physical and mental health. So it can mean that they can't perform at the level that they want to perform at, both in terms of the day-to-day, but also that future career development. And it means that the company is in danger of losing talent, where actually some easy steps in terms of that support, the preventative area, could have addressed those.
A large concern for many employers will be the impact that COVID has had on essential women's cancer screening programmes. Research by Breast Cancer Now shows that nearly 1 million women in the UK have missed potentially life-saving NHS breast screening. That leads to an anticipated 8,600 women who could be living with undetected breast cancer today. Employers should be focusing on educating all employees, men and women, on the impact that COVID has had on NHS screening and the alternative means of accessing potentially life-saving screening. For women, this will ensure that we are educated and empowered to take control of our health.
So what practical steps can an employer take? Well, firstly, it's just about simply deciding what it is you're trying to achieve. So that could be attracting and retaining talent. It could be about increasing your employee engagement. It could be about increasing the employee value proposition or reducing absences. And how does that fit in with your wider business strategy, but also the budget and resource that you have? Secondly, ask your employees. So ask them about your culture, ask them about what it feels like to work there, but also about what they value and what they need. So that could be through an employee survey, it could be through employee focus groups, or it could be about analysing actually how they are engaging and utilising the benefits, the support, the training and the events you're already putting in place. Thirdly, review your culture and your company policies and how that stacks up against what it is you're trying to achieve, so that there are no barriers and so that you're picking up every element. As we said before, it really is about having an authentic and supportive culture, and that's the only way you can really make an impact. So as well as asking your employees about what it is they would value or they need, you can also look at the demographic profile of your employee base and understand therefore the health risk factors that they may be facing and target campaigns differently. The next step is to look at the benefits and support that you already have in place and do a gap analysis against what it is you're trying to achieve. So that is not just looking about where the gaps are, but it's also understanding Am I utilising everything on this policy that I can do? A lot of the insurance policies now have great value adds on them, so just make sure that you are utilising them in the right way. And finally, it's just about creating awareness. So that's in 3 different elements. So one is about really embedding that culture, which is led from the top. So maybe leadership stories that you can share, creating that environment where people are happy to talk, and also that it goes across the company. Secondly, training your line managers in terms of absence management and those conversations, and them being able to support their employees in the right way. And finally, just about signposting, even if that's external signposting, so creating awareness about the things we've talked about, like health screening, and the importance of those, and charities that they could access information on, or whether it's your own internal benefits and support.
Businesses can remove the stigma around women's health by creating a culture where women feel safe and able to talk. Key to success is ensuring barriers are removed through the creation of a platform that encourages open conversation and education. Many of our clients have achieved this by adopting women's health awareness programs that include sessions on fertility, menopause, midlife health concerns, the importance of screening and recognising symptoms, as well as general health awareness.
Many companies have a range of support services in place. It's really important though to check that they cover some of these issues we've talked about, because these are these really personal issues and symptoms. And a course of general counselling is unlikely to be helpful for most people in these situations. Specialist services are available to provide practical advice and emotional support about the particular symptoms and implications of symptoms we've talked about, giving ladies the opportunity to talk confidentially about very personal issues to somebody who understands. Also, some excellent charities such as Daisy Network, British Menopause Society, Women's Health Concern and Menopause Matters.